Hey guys, Lord Naren White here, the Holy Ghost, the one true God, back with you with the next video in my Witcher 3 playthrough. Today, continuing Witcher 3.
Got a minute?
For you, my friend, always.
Gotta tell me, how do you wind up owning this establishment?
You'll never believe this. I inherited it from none other than Alonzo Wiley, Whoreson Sr. himself.
You're right, I don't believe it.
Alonzo ruled the local underworld with an iron fist, but deep down, he was a romantic, pure as they come. This place is one of the reasons his son's not my biggest fan. See, Cyprian Jr., that is, wanted to make this a brothel, but the Rosemary went to me, and I planned to turn it into the most elegant venue in town, a den of art and culture.
How do you and Priscilla meet?
It was at the court of Duke Hereward, the annual balladry contest. We faced off in the final.
Who won?
I don't remember.
I bet. Probably lost and you don't want to admit it.
Actually, she'd caught my eye, so I let her win. I was counting on getting a prize after the contest.
And? Did you?
That, my friend, is not your concern.
Got a portrait of Hierarch Himmelford I'm willing to part with. Want it?
Yes, those halfling painters. This one of theirs? Wonderful. I put this up at the Rosemary in time. It'll make those temple guard inspections so much easier.
Ran into Molly. She says hello.
Molly? Which Molly?
One you promised to show your butterfly collection to.
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
Butterfly collection? You of all people could stand to be a little more inventive.
Molly didn't need inventive. She needed attentive. Average, run-of-the-mill girl. But give her a smile. Notice her shoes. Let her chat about them a bit. And she'd turn into a wellspring of passion.
See you, Dandelion.
Oh, you don't mean to.
What was it happened to Foltest again?
Ow!
In short, who kisses your ass today?
Did I hang the wife or not? No discounts, no credit.
Armed ruffians in town. Scandalous.
Looking for Rotlick.
You ain't alone. Damn halfling's in debt to half the city. But I'm here to scrape mine before the carcass is picked clean.
It's not enough for everyone, so bugger off. Feeding time's first come, first served.
Take what you want. I'm just here for some placards.
You deaf? Didn't you hear me? This is all mine now. Fuck off, freak.
And here I thought we'd resolve this peacefully.
You'll regret this, mutant. Tell me what you want, damn it!
Placards.
There ain't no ploughing placards here.
And Rotlick, where's he?
Same place as always. Vehicle Bud Estate. Losing his last crowns at the races.
See? Wasn't that easy? Could have said so right away.
I tell you, this city will be ours. Trouble? Last chance to surrender unorthodox books.
That ain't real fire. Nuh-uh. It is too. The old grand shat, holding tight to her hat.
Captured and displayed in legs. Seems you're a considerable sum in the vet. It would be quite profitable. You shan't back out on that account, eh?
Won't have much of a choice before long.
Come now, old sport. We can't allow that. Who'd I wager with then, eh? Listen, here's what we'll do. We'll make one more bet. If you win, I'll pay your debts and we'll continue playing. What do you say?
And if I lose?
One worry at a time, old chum. Well, I'm off to place my bet.
So one thing I want to point out here is, when I contrast this game with Mass Effect, the amount of conversations that happen in the big cities, as well as things like that guy chopping that tree in this scene here, this amount of like side conversation and stuff that you're not necessarily a part of, but like people in the streets of Novigrad always chatting and stuff like that, that's what makes a world feel so alive. Like that's something that was never really there in Mass Effect as much. It was there, like conversations between the crew, but it wasn't as prevalent as this. Now, was it good? Yes. It was amazing. Like if you think about on Omega, like if you think about on the Asari homeworld, if you think about on the maybe the Turian, excuse me, not the Turian homeworld, but the Krogan homeworld. Maybe there were more certainly in Omega and the Asari homeworld there were more conversations. But in general, Witcher is one of those games where there's so many people. Game just feels so alive, and that's awesome.
You Rotlick?
Henri Rotlick, artist, painter, debtor, and martyr to my art. At your service.
Dandelion sent me.
Oh, yes. Tell him his placards are done and safely hidden away. Yet, alas, I cannot fetch them, as a group of angry creditors has seized my home.
Think I might have run into one of them.
Then you know my predicament. And now, Count de Louverton has offered me the chance to win it all back. I'm to wager on a race.
Generous. Not just anybody could afford to do that.
De Louverton is not just anybody. He's Duke Sam's youngest son. Sam of the well-known family of gem dealers. One debt more or less makes little difference to him.
What's there to worry about? This is your chance to settle up, get a clean slate.
You've had a spell of bad luck lately. Should I agree to de Louverton's offer and lose, I shall be in bondage to him for all time.
Listen, all I really want are the placards. Tell me where you tucked them away and I'll be out of your hair.
Forgive me, I cannot. I hid them with family heirlooms that would work those barbarians lurking outside my home into a slavering froth.
Then go fetch them yourself. I'll wait here.
If I show my face there without coin, they'll beat me to a pulp. I must win back my debt somehow, else I'll never return home.
Let's do this. I'll enter the race. You'll bet on me, win, pay your debts, then give me the placards.
You're that good a rider?
Far from the worst. Go tell the Count you accept his offer.
well, an
Forgotten, so I'm afraid to see the surgeon. Never know when they'll accuse him of witchcraft.
nothing hurts as much as
Thank you. I never expected this. May I ask to what I owe this generosity?
Let's just say I like to do a good deed from time to time. Can we get those placards now?
I'll bring them to the Rosemary in time, just as soon as I settle my obligations.
Fine. See you there.
Damage. Is there a land I have a strength for anything?
see that imperial lacking.
Just look at the freak.
Grand opening tonight.
We start in G major, and
I told you, the piece is sad, melancholy. Needs a minor key
but I wanted to.
to ruin everything. We'll start an E minor.
Well, well. See, the crew's been hard at work. Not bad.
I love it, especially the accoutrements on the wall. What about Rotlick? Did you get the placards?
Rotlick said he'd bring them on his own. Should be here soon.
Great! The best way I can think of to promote the chameleon.
Never mentioned wanting to change the name.
Rosemary in Time wasn't all bad, but it conjured images of Temerian cuisine served by waitresses in peasant garb. Chameleon's a lot better for a cabaret, apart from which it emphasizes that the place has undergone a transformation. Just a better ring to it all round.
What about choreography? Prepared anything special for the opening?
We haven't. But Polly has. She's priceless. Came in and brought the girls in line before I could say knickers. Premiere will have the audience on their feet, on their knees, both at the same time.
Guess everything's ready. So when's the opening?
Soon. We start our dress rehearsal in an hour. I just need to nip back home for my dress.
Thanks for everything.
Don't mention it.
Seems my cabaret dreams are about to come true. So, around to celebrate? I'm buying.
Why not?
That's my boy. The foreman mentioned he saw you and Priscilla talking,
He's all right.
and she say anything about me?
She said something that made me think she's not entirely normal.
What?
That you're responsible, got your feet planted firmly on the ground.
You're pulling my leg.
Not this time. One thing's eating me. How do you manage to get the loan from Sophronia?
Ugh, wasn't easy. She got so excited about our performance, I had to read to her for 4 hours. 4 hours from the Cloak and the Dagger.
You mean you didn't...
Are you crazy? Who do you think I am? She's late, of course. She knew how important this night was to me.
Of course she did. Probably just making herself gorgeous. Takes time.
So it's true. A woman's vanity knows no bounds.
Master Dandelion! Priscilla, she's...
What? Speak, man.
She's badly, been attacked. They took her to Vulmerius Hospital.
Attacked? She's hurt? Geralt, come with me, please.
Of course. Let's go.
Gods. Priscilla. Is she gonna live?
I'd say that's certain. Her condition's critical but stable. Beg your pardon, but you are a relative?
Relative? No, a friend. A very close friend.
Dandelion, correct? She uttered the name in her few moments of lucidity. I am Joachim von Gratz, head of surgery. Until recently, a lecturer at Oxenfurt Academy.
Enough of the courtesies. What are her injuries, besides her eye?
A concussion, cranial swelling, incision into her larynx, and scalding inside the throat and esophagus. Clearly someone forced her to imbibe a caustic fluid.
So this was no ordinary attack, no robbery.
Clearly not. It was the act of a demented mind, and not its first.
How can you know that?
I've seen wounds like this. They're not the kind one would forget, don't you agree? In fact, just this week, a corpse turned up in the morgue with similar injuries. And no heart.
No heart? You mean that might have happened to Priscilla? Is someone looking into this?
This is Novigrad. Only the innocent burn here.
Geralt, I know I owe you 100 times over, but I need to ask you another favor. Find the bastard who did this. Find him and kill him.
Don't need any convincing. Come on, Dandelion. Let's think about what we can do.
I would suggest examining the previous victim's corpse. It has yet to be autopsied. Doing so could very well provide some clues. No need to look astonished, gentlemen. As a surgeon, I know the importance of preventive medicine. Rather than wait for this maniac to strike again, I'd prefer to excise him. Not unlike a tumor.
Great analogy, but this tumor's not gonna sit there, wait to be excised. Appreciate the help, but I doubt you know what you're getting yourself into.
I know perfectly well, and I assure you I can take care of myself.
Easy assurance to make, harder to back up, especially if you've spent your whole life wielding a scalpel, not a sword.
Look at this scar. Don't be shy. Any idea what leaves such a mark?
A flail. Morningstar, maybe.
What do you think? A blow sustained at the operating table? No? Let me repeat. I know what I'm doing, and I wish to help.
Think they'll let me into the morgue?
By the main entrance, certainly not. But you can also get inside through the sewers.
The sewers? Travel them often, Doctor?
As often as required for, the pursuit of preventive medicine.
Alternative treatments. Aggressive ones, I'm guessing. Interesting.
We can discuss this en route. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Ready and intrigued. I'll get whoever did this, Dandelion. Even if it's Hierarch Hemmelfart himself.
Thanks.
You lead.
So I'll pause there for a second because, of course, having played this game multiple times, I knew that Priscilla would get hurt and attacked like this. And it's actually one of the sadder parts about Witcher 3 is Priscilla getting attacked, but, you know, let's keep going. And hopefully we can resolve what happened to her.
So, preventive medicine you practice in the sewers. What's that about?
Think. Sewing up drowner victims can grow awfully tedious. Is it not better to nip the problem in the bud? I tried to get the temple guard to it. Hear that?
Been hearing it for a while. Draw your weapon.
Hey! Help! Help!
Priscilla, how's it look? Give it to me straight, no sugarcoating.
Her wounds will heal, but it's her voice that concerns me. Surely you understand what a terrible blow that would be to a Trobritz. Enough to strip her of the will to live.
Any remedy for that?
I fear only your friend Dandelion can be of help on that count. Take the ladder. This is the place. Come, the quicker we take care of this, the better.
Why? Got somewhere to be?
Someone might disturb us. The coroner, for example. Or Reverend Nathaniel Pastodi. Very well. We seek the corpse of a dwarven woodcarver.
Human. Wrong body type. Looks like necrophages got to this one. This isn't it. Human. Wrong body type. That's gotta be him.
This one's a she. Remember, beards are no indicator of gender amongst dwarves.
A dwarf, but the hands. Not a carpenter's. A banker's, more likely. Calluses on the fingers, sawdust in the beard, clothes sticky with sap. Must be our dwarf.
Excellent. I trust you don't grow weak in the knees at the sight of blood.
Not a bit. Start the autopsy.
Where?
Let's look at his head. Hair smells like it's burnt. Like he was in a fire.
Notice anything else? That his eyes have been scooped out, for instance?
Those burn marks I see in his eye sockets.
Yes. And some grey dust. Ash, it seems. Very fine.
Murderer gouged out his eyes, then put burning coals in the sockets.
So it seems. Looking at the wounds, it appears our woodcarver was still alive when it happened.
Let's examine the mouth. Burns, blisters.
Just like Priscilla's.
See this? Incision made into the voice box.
Indeed, so thin as to be nearly unnoticeable.
A small, extremely sharp instrument. Scalpel.
But why? The wound is too small to bleed, and there are signs of swelling. The murderer... I believe he performed a tracheotomy, so the victim wouldn't die too soon.
Let's examine his torso.
What have we here? Deep wound on the left side of his rib cage, and a scar the length of his stomach.
Look at the scar. Wounds long and thin, an incision, but the edges are ragged.
Means nothing. Look, no swelling, no bruises. An old injury, perhaps an accident in the workplace.
Open the abdominal cavity.
Due warning, it will stink of rot.
Once fought a Zoogle up to my waist in sewage, so I doubt... Wait. Smells not rot.
Formaldehyde. A medical novelty. Heavily diluted, it's remarkable at preserving organic tissue. In stronger proportions, it's more destructive than acid.
Explains why there's no smell of decay, and why his throat's scalded. Look at his hands. These welts. Rope burns, right? He was tied up.
I'd expect so. No one could sit through such torture unless bound.
Speaking from experience?
Yes, that of a victim. Spent a year in the dungeons of Tretogor. Long story.
Some other time, maybe. See the callus? Our dwarf wore a ring, but someone took it off him. See anything interesting on his legs?
His right foot. The ankle swollen, toenails broken. He clearly kicked something very hard, right before he kicked the bucket.
Doesn't strike me as the right time for jokes.
Apologies. We surgeons, we've a different sensibility.
Mm-hmm. And a different sense of humor. His genitals, we ought to inspect those.
I sincerely doubt they bear any relation to the matter.
We'll see. Pull down his trousers and... shit.
Syphilis, actually. Early stages. No sign of diffusion.
Think there could be a connection?
Only as the killer's potential motivation.
All right. Think I know enough.
Enlighten me, please, because I've still no notion what this is about. What the motive might have been.
I'm actually not sure which one to say here, so I'm gonna look it up. I mean, probably I'll end up going with the first one, just because I'm not 100% sure, so, yeah. Let's see, what option we should go with. We'll go with the first one. I'm not sure. I can't seem to find anything in the guide, but yeah.
Sure of one thing. This was punishment.
Even the witch hunters don't engage in this kind of torture. What sin could possibly merit it?
Only the murderer knows that. And it's the key to finding him. Or her. It's a lead worth following. Any idea what his name was?
Fabian Meyer. And I'm Hubert Reich, the coroner. I've come to perform the autopsy, but I see you've done it for me, Joachim. As always, you interfere where you're neither needed nor wanted. Drag others into trouble in the process. Who is this?
A student. Lifelong learner. Got a couple questions for you.
Very well, speak. But be quick. Reverend Nathaniel has come by for an inspection. He'll be here shortly.
And that's where I'll go ahead and end the video there for this week. With that, I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel. Like to be with you all, take care, and thanks again.